What's happening everyone, my name is Alex and welcome back. In today's video we are checking out one of the latest phones from TCL called the TCL 10 Pro. So this is a mid-range device that you can find for under $500, but the way the phone looks, feels and it performs, well, it feels more like a phone that's $1,000 than one that's under $500. So on the back we have glass and we even have a curved screen, a feature that we usually see on much more expensive devices. This is also an AMOLED screen, so this is a 6.47 inches screen with a 1080p resolution, and I'm very happy to say that the screen gets bright enough so the phone can be used outdoors in direct sunlight. Once again, something that doesn't happen with a lot of cheaper devices. Now, this phone supports an in-screen fingerprint scanner, so you basically lock the screen, then you touch the fingerprint scanner, and the phone should unlock. Unfortunately, the fingerprint scanner doesn't work that well. It takes like 2-3 seconds from the time you actually put your finger on the scanner to unlock, and sometimes you have to scan your finger 2 or 3 times. So I'm not very happy about the in-screen fingerprint scanner. But at least the phone supports face unlocking, and that's much faster than the fingerprint scanner. But keep in mind that the face unlocking is not going to be as secure as a fingerprint scanner or a PIN code. So keep that in mind. At the top here we also have a 3.5mm audio jack, so you can plug in some headphones. This is something that we don't usually see with a lot of phones these days, so I'm very happy to see that. And next to that we have an IR blaster. What is an IR blaster? Well, it allows the phone to control like a TV, so the phone can become a remote control. There is an app where you have to set up whatever device you want to control, but it's very simple to use and then it works just like any remote control. So a very useful feature. I'm guessing that they included this because TCL makes a lot of TVs, so you can control their TVs with the phone. I'm not sure how popular this feature will be, but it's definitely there. At the bottom here we have a USB-C port. This phone supports fast charging, so charging the phone from 0 to 100 takes about an hour and 20 minutes. Next to that we have the speaker, but unfortunately this is the only speaker. With a lot of phones these days we get a speaker at the top and one at the bottom. Well, with this phone we only have one speaker, but at least the speaker does sound good. Now, even though the phone is extremely slim, inside it we have a 4500 mAh battery. And when you pair that with the Snapdragon 675 that we have inside this device, you can get more than 10 hours of screen on time. More than 10 hours of screen on time, and that's quite impressive if you ask me. Mostly considering that a lot of flagships usually get between 5 and 7 hours of screen on time. So over 10 hours of screen on time on one charge. So really good in my opinion. Unfortunately the phone doesn't support wireless charging. So that Snapdragon 675 that's inside this device, it's paired with 6 gigs of RAM, and if you run the Antutu benchmark on this phone you get a score of over 200,000. And you already know that when you get a score that high, pretty much everything that you're gonna do on the device will work great. So everything that you will do on it is lag free. So it doesn't matter if you're on Chrome reading an article, or if you're editing a picture using Snapseed, or if you're scrolling up and down through your Facebook feed, everything works good. I even played some games. Well, some games. I played one game because that's the only game that I play, Call of Duty. And the game works really good as well. But if you play the game more than like 45 minutes to an hour, so you play for a long time, the phone will get pretty hot. And when the phone gets really hot, you're gonna notice some skipped frames. So there is some throttling happening in there. But I guess that's a downside to having such a slim design. So if you're very heavy on games, this will do decent, but not the best out there. But for everything else you shouldn't have any lag. This is also running Android 10, and according to TCL this will be upgraded to Android 11 whenever that becomes available. I also love that the UI is very simple and it doesn't come pre-installed with a bunch of useless apps as we see with a lot of other devices, so that's a great thing. And even though the UI looks very simplistic, it's packed with a lot of extra little features. For example, on the side here we have what's called the convenience key, and you can basically program that key to open any application. In my case, I just programmed that to open the camera every single time I press the key. So it works really good for that, but you can select any application. Talking about the cameras, well, on the back here we have a lot of cameras, so as many cameras as you'd find on a flagship. So you have the main lens, you have an ultra wide lens, you have a macro lens, and the lens that's used for portrait mode pictures. Now, the picture quality is really good during the day. So if you take pictures through the main lens, if you take pictures through the macro lens, all pictures turn out really good. I've actually done a comparison video between this phone and the Huawei P30 Pro. The Huawei P30 Pro is still one of my favorite phones for taking pictures. And I will leave a link to that video in the video's description or the top right corner. I've included like 100 pictures in that video. So if you want to see more pictures taken by this device, definitely check out that video. So most pictures will turn out really good. Now, unfortunately, the pictures taken with the ultra-wide lens don't look as sharp as the pictures that you take with the flagship. But that was kind of to be expected. And even though the phone supports a night mode, when you start zooming in on those night pictures that you took with the night mode, the pictures aren't as sharp as the pictures that you'd get from a flagship. So that is another downside. But once again, check out that comparison video if you want to see more pictures. As for video capabilities, this can do 4K at 30 frames per second, and the video quality is decent, but I wouldn't say that it's the best that I've seen. So it is usable, but there are a lot of phones that can do better, but also more expensive phones. So for around $500, I think it does decent enough. The phone supports NFC as well, so if you want to make payments with the phone, you can definitely do that with this. I've tried the GPS unit inside it, and that works good. It takes the phone maybe a second, maybe 2 seconds, depending where you're located, to find your location. But of course, once your location is found, it doesn't seem to lose it. So using any navigation app will work great. We also have all the sensors that you would find in some other more expensive devices. As for call quality, well, that's good, but realistically, the call quality is pretty decent on most phones that I tried in the past 3 years. So really no complaints about the call quality. So for the price, I have to say that I was quite impressed by this phone. I mean, TCL overdone themselves with the 10L and the 10 Pro, because before these devices, TCL wasn't known to make the best phones out there, but with these phones, I was quite impressed. So if you're looking for a budget-friendly device that's also really good, that works good, that looks good, I think you should definitely consider the TCL 10 Pro. Even the cameras are pretty decent on it, something that doesn't happen with a lot of phones this affordable. Alright guys, hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you did like it, don't forget to press that like button, don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching.